Awesome. Well, me and Nikki here are gathered just to kind of talk about this amazing program that we have started building called the College Wellness Collective. Um, and it's just this beautiful program that's 4 weeks, and it's helping, college students who right now during, this time, really providing resources, tools, who might be struggling with anxiety, depression, isolation, and providing just a spirit, mind, body approach to helping them get the tools, resources, and education to really deal with some of the struggles that are occurring during this time. And we have just the most amazing team. We have, an amazing therapist, we have an amazing nutritionist, and then also Nikki and myself, who are going to be able to get to know a little bit more about Nikki and all of just the skills and stuff that she's bringing to this team and this program that we're building out right now. So I'm just super blessed to be here and super excited to really get to know Nikki on a more in-depth level of what she's going to be providing into this course and all that kind of stuff. So
Can I
amazing.
just say something in response to something you just said?
Yeah.
I really like how you just said you referred to a spirit, mind, body program,
Mm,
and I just love the order that you said that in because
yeah.
it's so often said mind, body, spirit. And I'm sure that's very deliberate. I know you, and I'm sure that was no accident. Emphasis being on what's most important, maybe, or maybe taking away from what we overemphasize, which is often the mind.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, that is so true.
that's cool.
And so I'll give a little actual bio for Nikki because I love those little bios when you hear people talk. So this one is about Nikki. Nikki is a certified wellness and recovery coach, lifestyle consultant, and yoga teacher with over 15 years of experience in the field and practice of holistic health and mind/body medicine. She helps individuals recover from destabilizing life transitions and transforms their life by helping them strategize and plan to restore balance, clarify their goals, gather resources, and create a supportive lifestyle while offering consistent reflection, guidance, and accountability. She came to this profession after years of her own recovery work to overcome major depression and heal from the damaging effects of substance abuse. Nikki thrives on helping those um, who truly want long-term change, have courage to face their rawest selves, and are willing to wholeheartedly commit to playing an active role in creating the life they desire. Wow, there's so much there to unpack, which I'm just so stoked to be able to dive into it. But I think just the beauty of really you as a recovery coach, a transitional coach, is you've walked the walk, right? And so you bring that to the work that you do. You bring that to your clients because you understand what it takes to heal and embody that because you've experienced it yourself. And I think that's so rare and it's so important, and that's why I'm really excited to be a part of your team. So
Well, and
anyways.
I feel the same about you
Yeah.
too, by the way, because I know that you walk the walk as well and have done a lot of work. And I think we both, so many of us, we are led to doing the work we do because we wish we had that person in our life.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's so important. um and so you know the first question that I have, because the topic that we're going to be just discussing right now is supporting mental health through lifestyle. And that's such an, like, you don't hear that a lot, right? Just through lifestyle. What even does that mean? What is lifestyle? Like, you are a lifestyle transition coach, which is very unique. You hear like life coach, wellness coach, recovery coach, but what does lifestyle coach mean, and how can we support mental health through that, and what kind of are the things that you bring in a sense? Could you name a little bit of to answer that question?
Absolutely, sure. Well, I think it's important to talk first about, what lifestyle is, you know, um, taking a moment to really sit with that. And really, it's like, what do you choose to spend your time doing? How do
Mm-hmm.
you choose to spend your time? That is your lifestyle. And generally, what we value most is where we spend our time.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting point on that in the world of recovery and addiction. This is something that I learned from one of my teachers that um, often, if we are not aligning our actions with our values, there's
Mm.
generally some sort of addiction involved.
Can you repeat that again? Because that's a powerful statement.
I know
Yeah.
I know. So if we are not aligning our actions with our values, there's
Okay.
usually an element of addiction involved.
Wow. Yeah.
And so, for example, if you really value, time with close friends or exercise in this capacity or yoga or, studying this or that, but you are not doing that because you are, spending way too much time on social media, or maybe you are um, drinking or using some sort of substance, and that's kind of screwing up your whole daily, structure, and therefore you're not able to do those things. Then it's showing that there's something that has more pull or strength that's pulling you away from choosing the things that you say you value.
Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting thing to sit with, as we look into lifestyle. So basically, as far as lifestyle goes, really what are you doing to address and feed and nourish your spirit, body, and mind?
Mm-hmm.
So, our lifestyle, in order to live a balanced life and be healthy mentally, we need to be addressing all aspects of our being and
Yeah.
equally. And of course, there are times when we have to give more to this area or more to that, but life is a constant sort of like balancing act. So, it's always just constant awareness of what you're maybe giving too much energy to or not giving enough to. So, it's always the main thing is awareness, number one. It's
Mm-hmm.
really being aware of the choices that you're making in life and what you're doing.
Yeah.
So that's number one. And then, doing some work, sitting down with somebody or with yourself or whatever, however it is through programs, and just taking a good look at, what am I doing to feed and nourish myself mentally?
Mm.
Am I studying something that I'm interested to continuously? Am I, engaging in some inspiring conversations with people that, kind of like, keep me, I don't keep that spark. What sort of things are you doing for yourself mentally? Physically, what are you doing exercise wise? Like taking care of your physical body.
Yeah.
And that includes huge nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a big deal in my opinion. And then spiritually, what are you doing to feed your soul? And all of these things look different to everybody. So that's really important to be with. And as a coach and a lifestyle consultant, I help people figure out, you know, what is it that resonates most strongly with me? And,
Mm.
maybe there's things that they haven't been introduced to as well. So I can also bring that to them as well. Like there's different sorts of like healing modalities that maybe they've heard of, they've been interested in, but they don't really know anything about, different sort of people and resources, that kind of stuff. So I think that those are the main components of lifestyle that I think are important to address: how you're nourishing yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally, and really taking a look at where you're at any given time. And if you're coming through a life transition, such as college students
Yeah.
right now, your anytime things shift dramatically, it's destabilizing. And you kind of have to like take a moment to, stand back up, shake off the dust, and kind of get your new perspective and see, okay, now I'm in this situation. What do I need to shift in order to make sure all of those elements of my being are taken care of?
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of probably expectations or ideas of, what campus life was going to look like and how was I going to live and navigate through all of that, which is a job in itself, which I hope to help people work through once they get to that point. But right now it's like, okay, well, now I'm actually either on campus, but in my dorm room, or I'm at home because I decided just to skip the campus life because it's not really worth it at the moment. So, like, how am I going to feed all those parts of myself either at home or in a very isolated, sort of environment at school. So that's all, it's, looking at that stuff and asking a lot of questions.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, you just said so much there.
I
Um,
did.
but I mean, it shows this wealth of knowledge that you have in this background, right? You've been in this industry for 15, plus years, and not to mention your own personal experience. So you really just gave so much information there. And really, this program's directed towards college students right now and transition, right? The topic's transition that we're talking about. It's a human being goes through so much life transition, throughout any period of their life. And, whether you're an adult, whether you're a child. And I think specifically because of this wealth of knowledge and you being a life transition coach with this specific demographic of college students, what advice would you give either a parent who right now they have, a college student or a young adult in their household who is during this time going through that transition and really struggling with how can I work with what's occurring and all these feelings and emotions that are coming up that are really destabilizing, for that parent's advice, but also for the college student who is feeling just trapped and stuck right now. What is the main, with all the clients that you've worked with all the experience, like if they had to take one tangible, just little thing to keep with them, what would that thing be?
I had more of a list in my brain earlier. Um, okay, said simply, get help.
Mm,
That kind of opens me up to talk about more. But truly, like, you don't have to figure this out alone. You don't have to figure this out. You can have other people help assist in investigating what is going to be best for you specifically, because there's no one size fits all with anything really. But as far as, speaking to the college student themselves, there are definitely resources to take advantage of them, to take advantage of. So like, take advantage, especially right now, like you're not being pulled in a million different directions to go get involved in, this club possibly, or this party, or this sorority, or whatever it is. You actually have been kind of given a gift of time and space to maybe go into your college experience a little differently and maybe set up a little bit more of a foundation for yourself for strength and balance from
yeah.
the get-go that you can build on from here, which I think is pretty glorious if you want to look at it that way. So, like, finding a therapist, use, college counseling services. That's what they're there for.
Yeah.
And I think, Samantha and I talked about this in the interview with her the other day. Like, that was one of her bits of advice too. And it wasn't to go see her as a therapist. It was basically just go get a therapist, everybody, anybody who's struggling. And, and don't wait until, like, there's, being a college student, it's never too early to find a therapist. You know what I mean? It's even better to have somebody with you at those, while you're growing, and they can stay with you long term, and it's just really powerful. And so same to the parents of these young adults. Reach out for help. I mean, recovery coaches, you and I are both recovery coaches. We are super helpful. It kind of just depends on where the individual is. If somebody's going through some real trauma right now and is having a really hard time emotionally, then therapy for sure. Yeah. If somebody is just having a hard time kind of sorting things out and getting their priorities lined up and figuring out how to take action, coaches are great. They're great for, strategizing and for accountability and for reflection. So that is my advice, to go get help. And of course, our program, College Wellness Collective, we have created this because we know what the needs are, because we've been there. You've been there most recently. I mean, you're a fresh college grad. And so we know kind of like what was lacking in our college experience. And, so we can speak to all of that. So this is another resource. Look out, just get some help, whether that's a group, a therapist, a coach, seeing what sort of resources are available at your college and university. There's a lot of times you just don't know what's out there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is so true, right? And I know for me personally, I was so resistant to getting help. Because again, it was just right that pain, the overwhelm, so much emotion was happening. And when you finally make at least for me, like when I made a decision that I actually needed to help, all of a sudden things got really real. And it was
Mhm.
like, oh shit, now I have to look. Oh, sorry, I just cursed. Um,
I curse all the time. It's okay.
so, but then it's like, oh my goodness, like I have to finally face all of these things that I, was hiding from, that I was numbing out from, that I was, running away from. And when you make that decision, to reach out and ask for help, it's like the bravest thing you can possibly do. And it's the scariest thing, which is why I see, so many people just in denial, so many people, pretending that they're okay or convincing. I know for me, I convinced myself so much that I was okay, that I'm fine, I don't need help, but I was on the outside, everybody could see that I was suffering so much. And so, it's just, it takes so much bravery to really be able to step into that space of being vulnerable and saying like, I'm not okay, I need
Mhm.
help. um,
Yeah.
and I really, like, I think right in the College Wellness Collective, we're really, one of the main priorities I think for both of us is kind of, that's why we're focusing on college students and not this large demographic, because we want to bring a community where people feel seen in their similar experiences of what they've been struggling with,
Yeah.
and build that community, build that support, build that relationship where people can feel not alone in that pain of what they're going through. um,
Absolutely. I
so
want to say, just in addition to the bravery that it takes to ask for help, which you speak to, it it also relieves so much stress
yeah.
once you take the step, because you've now, like I said before, you don't have to figure everything out yourself.
Hmm.
So bring somebody in who that is what they do, and it's not taxing for them to figure out, the plan. And then so you've got that weight off your shoulder, and then you have a support. You literally have a support, somebody and an energy to help you move forward. So it's like this extra bit of strength. And so those two things combined are invaluable.
Totally. No, that's so beautifully put. um, so could you speak just a little bit about just how College Wellness Collective, we kind of talked about um, college students, what people are going through, what mental health and life transition is, but specifically this program of College Wellness Collective, how is that going to cultivate some of the solutions that, some people need right now during this time? And you could talk about some of the things that you're bringing to this team, and maybe a strategy or an exercise that we could talk through. Give them a
Okay.
little glimpse.
Sure. Okay. Um, there's so much that we're bringing to everybody in this program. The group therapy aspect
Mm-hmm.
is huge and going to be just so powerful and amazing. The yoga and discovery of self type work that you're going to bring to it, which everybody should listen to my interview of Teresa from last week's to get a better idea of, your skill set and expertise and gifts
Yeah.
and everything that you're going to be doing. Nutrition is huge. So we have the addiction nutritionist. She actually specializes in nutritional programs for people overcoming addiction, which is fascinating. So she knows a lot, just like you, and I, to a degree, about neurochemistry and food, and how we work as biochemical beings. It's a
Yeah.
big deal. So, and I know a lot of college students, a lot of people, but I know college students for sure, we like science, like we like data. We like to see that stuff. And a lot of the yoga practices that you and I are going to bring to it as well have scientific, studies and backing behind them as well, which is super cool. Um, as far as some of what I will be bringing to it specifically is in relationship to lifestyle, is really taking time through different exercises and looking at assessing our values. And some of that will be part of a lot of stuff is going to overlap between us, which is really great. You know, value work is going to come up in the group therapy sessions with Samantha for sure. And it's definitely going to overflow into your work as well. But really sitting down and doing some exercises and kind of assessing like what are our values. You know, there's some great exercises that we can do to really, you know, get them clear, and then noticing which of our actions are aligning with those values and maybe which aren't. So, like I said, the first thing is awareness. You can't do anything without awareness first. And
Yeah.
sometimes people choose not to be aware and to look at things because they don't want to see it. They're going to beat themselves up about it and be judgmental or whatever. They're going to have to give something up. So there's, you know, just like you said, you had a lot of resistance to getting help because you like subconsciously knew that getting help was going to be like, oh, here's all this shit to look at, Teresa, that you're not going to want to, you know. So but we're going to do that in a group, with group support. Not that all of your, you know, personal secrets need to be shared, but you were going to all be doing the exercises together, you know. So there's some assessment of, you know, our lifestyle, how we're spending our time, and how, you know, which areas do we feel need more or less attention. So we can do kind of also some exercises, kind of like wheel of satisfaction type exercises, or in from one of my trainings is the 7 yagnas. So you're going through like community, nature, relationships, purpose, work, hobbies. There's like a list, and you rate them and you see where you're at with them. And the ones that are really low, those are the ones that you need to address first. You know, let's raise those up one notch, you know, rather than addressing everything. Let's start piecemeal and, you know, go little by little. So we're going to be doing some work in that area, and, you know, kind of noticing, you know, the difference between choices that we make. You know, are we choosing something that is going to be healthy? Are we choosing something that is going to be harmful? Or are we choosing something that's going to be neutral? So just starting to look at things and their effects a little bit more, you know, so that we can be proactive in our lives. And hopefully that'll spill over to everything we do. I'm a big fan of preventative living, basically. And I think it's partly because I'm a Virgo and we just plan everything.
That is true. You are like this whole program. Sorry, I shouldn't interrupt. But
No,
anyway,
that's okay.
you're just like a boss in the sense of like how you like organize this and plan this and like do this. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm an Aquarius, so we're very like visionaries and like thinking and like, you know, and I'm like, I need more of Nikki in my life to like do the like it's just amazing what you've created. Anyways, continue.
Well,
Okay.
that's so great. And that's why you are involved. That's why, like, you know, I bring in the elements that I know that, you know, will make this full and complete.
Mm-hmm.
So, so
Yeah.
for sure that is why we are together. You asked, there was something else I was going to say about, you know, kind of what to, I don't know. I guess that kind of gives an idea of some of the stuff that I will be bringing to it. And actually, the whole program, I think I gave an overview of most of that. So I'll be doing lifestyle work. I'll be bringing in some yogic practices as well. You and I are such fans of breathing techniques and different sort of like transitional meditative just practices that can help us come into the moment and shift
Yeah.
rather than just going from one thing to the next. It's like the importance of centering and then moving. And then, you know, I have a lot of specific training in like yoga for mood management. So we'll talk about, you know, some of the neurochemistry behind specific yoga practices and which ones are more supportive to you when you're in states of depression versus anxiety and stuff like that. And yeah, so that's a little summary.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's awesome. And I think really, you know, what I hear is just I when sort of when we're on this healing journey, right? And um again, like I talked a little bit this about in the beginning of there's so many layers to the human experience and why we do the things we do. And you stated this quite a bit of bringing awareness and light and consciousness to some of the patterns and behaviors that are keeping us blocked from living our full potential, living, you know, this life of our wildest dreams and what we truly want to manifest and create. And I think the beauty about this program, right, is that we're not trying to uncover all of it in 4 weeks. We have such a beautiful team. We have such a diverse team in the sense of like a therapist, right? So a therapist brings a lot of the clinical, medical, you know, cognitive background in a sense. And then you bring a lot of just the experience and the recovery coaching and transitional and, you know, wellness lifestyle. And then we have the nutritionist that's very like books, basics, tools, resources. And then me, I bring the, you know, the generational match in the sense of I just recently got out of college. And so I really speak the language of our demographic. And I think just that, you know, that team and that program, it's not like we're here to kind of go super quick and uncover it all, but it's just a beginning step. It's a really beautiful program to kind of launch yourself and open yourself to the possibilities of what life could be like without experiencing, you know, such, I know for me, extreme anxiety and just isolation and lack of community. And so this kind of gives you just a segment of what it could be like to open yourself to more possibilities. And you know, there's so much more support afterwards. Like we're not just going to cut you off and be like, okay guys, you're on your own, like goodbye, good luck. Like we're going to have, you know, step down care and opportunities and tools like to continue your plan after the experience.
I think the tools and I mean, that's a huge part of this is, you know, providing participants with tools and skills, you know, in addition to continued support, but like literally, okay, so now you actually have all of these different choices that you can, you know, reach for that you didn't know or have before. Therefore, you are choosing unhealthy coping practices.
Yeah.
And so that is a huge, huge takeaway. And, you know, I just want to point out too, like how beautiful it is to be involved in this type of, you know, work group support system is that you can let yourself be imperfect. You know, like we come from, one of my teachers used to say, we live, especially the yoga community, you'll appreciate this, is full of overachievers who think they're lazy.
Oh, yep.
You know,
so awesome.
So it's like, you know, we put so much pressure on ourselves, and we're our own worst critics always. And so like to be in an environment where it's a safe container, and like you know, we're going to have groups of 10, so it's going to be small and personalized, and to just, you know, connect initially with just the experiences that are shared right now brings a level of vulnerability, and that's where the power is, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable and really speak your truth. I know, so that's kind of one of those buzz statements, but truly, like, how are you truly feeling right now? You don't have to put on your show and like, yeah, you're great, you're doing this, you're doing that. Like, just say what's up, say what you're going through right now, and let's figure out ways to support you so that you can be empowered when you leave this program.
Yeah, no, I love that. And right, it starts with just one tiny little baby step, and yourself can open up in these ways that you've never imagined. And I really experienced that for myself, and just, you know, recreating such a passion project for both of us to try to recreate that for other people during these times when we need a little bit of light.
Right.
So
you asked something earlier which I didn't respond to. I think you asked for either an experience or something, if I wanted to give a glimpse. There's so many experiences. I would love to do a breathing technique or so many things, but I think I actually just want to put out the two concepts, well, a concept and a practice for people to take away. And one is the power of addition. So that's a big thing for me in my work. You know, when people are trying to let go of a certain, you know, behavior or addiction or whatever it is, rather than focusing so much on what it is that you need to stop doing, it's more focus on things that you can start doing. And then the little things done with regularity are so much more powerful than big things done infrequently. So basically, like just having a new practice of some sort. My favorite thing to recommend to most people is to make walking a new thing that they do. It's like a great reset button, even if it's just one lap around the block, up and down, whatever it is. That it's such a great way to, I think, what do you call it?
Pattern,
Yes,
yeah,
pattern stopping.
like pattern interrupts. It's when you
Pattern
find, yeah,
pattern interrupt. So it's a great pattern interrupt. It's a great place to get a little clarity. It's a great way to process emotions or anything that else is happening. If you're not super active for whatever reason, it's a great way to get some movement in. And it's you don't need that much inspiration to get up and out the door versus what you would if you wanted to go like for a run or something like that. That takes more motivation. Most of us can put on a jacket and get outside and take a walk around the block.
yeah,
So and that simple practice done regularly is life changing.
yeah,
It addresses it so many different things. So that's just one thing that I want to point out that, and I've seen it with my clients, like this is a lifetime practice. Like actually you're communing with nature, you're getting sunshine, you're moving your body, you're disengaging from technology, and you're breathing. And there's so many other aspects you can bring into it too if you wanted to include like a breathing practice and all that kind of stuff. So my main thing is the power of addition. The more you add healthy things into your lifestyle and stop feeding the unhealthy cravings, they almost take care of themselves. So rather than focusing on the starvation and the constantly looking at this thing that you need to address, it's more like, oh, let me just look over here, start feeding this part, and
yeah,
this part just becomes weaker and weaker. So it's the power of addition, um, is huge, and I just think it takes a lot of stress off of I need to quit doing this, and it's
yeah,
more like, okay, maybe I just need to start doing some of these things and then see how much easier it is to let go of things. And so what are those things? And we'll talk about that in the group too. Like, what are the things that resonate with you that you can do regularly
mhm,
that are, inspiring enough that you can see yourself actually doing?
yeah,
That's a big thing. And we'll work with that. And then, accountability is a big thing. So in our group, we're going to have accountability partners.
mhm,
That's a huge, huge component of making changes. When we're doing different stuff, it's easy to either forget to do them or to just avoid doing them. So by having accountability partners, you do it.
totally, yeah. No, I love that, and I think you touched upon such an important topic. It's just like scarcity mindset. I think we live in such you know, just a world where society sort of idealizes this idea of, taking away or subtraction to kind of build yourself up in a sense of like, we have to give up, we have to sacrifice, we have to let go to become. But really, it's shifting that mindset instead of like being like, actually, I can become anything I want. Actually, there's so much around me, there's so much abundance, and I have to be able to tap into that space of unconditionality to be able to receive that instead of that scarcity place of what you're talking about, which is addition, and replacing, something with something better in a sense, which we'll talk a lot about. Um, and I
Totally.
know that we'll have to close because somebody didn't charge their phone. Um,
Oh,
uh,
that's
but I
okay.
just wanted, for our viewers and for everybody, where can they connect with you? Where can they find this program? How can they learn more? Could you talk a little bit about this?
Sure. So first of all, the program, College Wellness Collective, the link is in my bio, and I think it's in yours too. If you're watching this on somebody else's IG, my Instagram handle is at nikki.ilo_coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure the spelling will be on the title here. My website is nikkiaiello.com. So you can learn more about my coaching and my lifestyle work and my yoga teaching. They're all on my website. And then collegewellnesscollective.com has its own website. All of the information is there. All of the videos and interviews that we've been creating are there, so you can get a good sense of all of the facilitators. You can really kind of see them, listen to them talk, and kind of get their vibe. And yeah, you can DM me anywhere you want.
Awesome. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, well, thank you so much. And you can also, anyone can reach out to me too and ask any questions about College Wellness Collective. If your son or daughter or anyone is thinking about this program and wants to talk to someone, reach out please to me or Nikki. And you can find me on Instagram at Teresa Giglio, or reach out via email or on my own personal website, which you can find all my contact information, which is thewarriorwithin.co. So yeah, just super, amazed at everything that you do, Nikki. You are just a powerhouse in itself. And I'm just so blessed to be a part of this journey and this experience, creating such an amazing program.
Well, thanks, Teresa. I honestly feel the same about you. So this is exciting. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being a great interviewer. And I look forward to, talking to all of you wonderful people who are interested.
Yes, for sure. All righty. Well, take care.
Okay, you too. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.